Hello and welcome to Step 20. So Step 20 basically deals with, and I'll lift this up out of the way for a second, putting the figures together. You get two figures with the Tamiya M2A2 ODS kit. They're really decent figures. I'm not going to cover that here. That's not what I wanted to do. I am now using the lower, or the hull of the vehicle that I've been adding all my updated parts to. That's where I've been basically going with all of this for myself. I've got the two side skirts that'll go on, and essentially, yeah, not everything's tacked on, but eventually this will go on here. So that's what you'll get to see of the track. I know that's all kind of busted up there. And I will end up adding one more of the 3mm tie down footman's loop in these areas, right in here and right in here, as per my prototype that I've been working with up at Camp Ripley in Minnesota. I guess overall what I would say is, even without all these add-ons, what you get in the box will give you a mid to late 90s and into the 2000s, depending on what unit you're paying attention to and modeling vehicle. It's a decent kit. It's, as I've kind of stated in the last video, it's not the most detail-oriented kit compared to some of the new kits that have come on the scene. Specifically the Magic Factory, which is a pretty much an apples-to-apples comparison. But it builds a lot faster. And it's a lot simpler. So if you're just getting into the hobby, or you don't really want to delve into a big project, this is going to give you what you want. It's going to give you a Bradley. Some of the things that you could do to improve it without necessarily adding on a whole lot of stuff, like we had covered, improving the mantlet with the cutting and the gluing on of parts just to make it look better. I think it looks fabulous, just that. You could also go through and drill out all the holes in the bustle rack, because those are drilled out in real life. Yeah. Other improvements without that have been discussed already. Maybe moving the tools into new positions if you wanted. Yeah, that's kind of all I've got for improvements of the kit. I don't know. If you were going to do this and not add these bits on here, I would suggest filling these holes in and sanding them smooth as well, because you just don't see any Bradleys running around with the big gaps there. They have these blocks that have been put in, if nothing else. So overall, that's a good build of the kit. It's kind of really hard to say. Again, part of the problem with the hatches, sorry, open that up. Oh, it wants to fight. Must have gotten a little glue on it. Anyways, part of the problem with the hatches is that, and I wanted to show this, but I don't want to poke myself with anything sharp to get that to open. Huh. Well, there you go. I must have gotten some glue in there somewhere. I didn't think I did. Okay, well, there you go, guys. If you're not, and ladies, if you're building this, if you're not careful, yeah, that's what ended up happening. I'm looking at it here, and just somehow a little rime of glue got in around the base. Or I'm not remembering having glued that on, but just on that edge. Color me silly, but anyways, one of the problems with dealing with the functional aspect of hinges and models is you end up with this kind of stuff where you accidentally glue it together. Now that I've taken that apart, what I wanted you to see is, yeah, even with figures in there, there's nothing in there. There's none of the equipment, so you can kind of get a look at having crew in there, but you'll end up seeing that it's still an empty shell of a turret, and I'm not terrible fond. I at least want some of the sighting systems or some of the stuff that's in there so that it looks like they're sitting in a fully loaded turret. Give it a little bit more of that hint. Personal preference. So that covers it. Look for my video on my kind of special announcement that I'm going to do as well. See you there.